This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're in London today, announcement of a monster heavyweight fight. Before we get down to boxing talk, Frank Warren, how are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Very good, thank you for asking. As mentioned, we are here for the announcement of a huge domestic heavyweight clash. Joe-Joyce, Daniel Dubois. Treat for the fans, Frank.
It's a great fight. You know, two undefeated fighters. They're fighting each other very early stages of their career. So it's a big risk fight for one of them, or both of them, but certainly for one of them, the loser. So, you know, this is what boxing's all about, the best fighting the best. And these are the two best prospects in, not in Britain, in the heavyweight, I believe, in the heavyweight division.
Now, as you mentioned, Frank, it is a big risk for both. Both of these guys, with the talent they've got and the records they're sort of amassing, could have been manoeuvred in a more comfortable way towards the top. How much credit do both men need to get for stepping up and taking this fight at this time?
They deserve everybody's applause for it. You know, for them to go and do that, as I say, at such an early stage of their professional careers, says a lot about both of them.
And obviously, we've seen them doing the media rounds this morning. I saw them on television. Daniel sort of came out of his shell a bit. Do you think we're seeing him sort of blossom and come out of his shell? Because I've seen him saying, bring your sleeping bag, you're going to sleep, things like that. It seems like he was enjoying it.
I'll be honest, he sort of shocked me a little bit. Yeah. But he was, he's enjoying himself. You know, Joe as well. I mean, they're not sort of vociferous, you know, Jack the Lad heavyweights, are they? But they both found their voices today, and I'm pleased with that. It's good for them.
What does a win do for whoever comes out victorious, obviously, in such a high-profile fight? Two guys that are sort of on the cusp of getting that top tier. Does this catapult the winner right into the mix?
I think the winner of this will become a mandatory challenger in one of the governing bodies. You know, Daniel's number 3 now in the WBO. He's at the higher up. There's a WBC silver belt. We all know where that got. I think just a couple of fights ago. What's his name? My brain's gone a minute. Whyte, he was the WBC silver belt champion, and I think that got him into a one spot. So, as I say, the winner of this should, with a bit of luck, become the mandatory challenger by the end of the year, once the guys are sorted out, once Tyson's sorted out Wilder, and once Anthony Joshua's got rid of his couple of mandatories, they're going to have have to fight one, I think. Fight the winner of this fight.
Now, style-wise, I don't want to jinx it at all, Frank, but on paper, it looks like we can only get a fan-friendly fight. Is that what you're expecting, fight of the year candidate?
I genuinely think it would. I don't, in any shape or form, see this as a distance fight. I think that they both throw bombs. They've only ever gone the distance each once. All the rest of the fights have been knockouts, and spectacular knockouts, some of them. So I think it's going to be bombs away. I think we're going to see something extra special. You know, seek and destroy, we called the show, and that's what it'll be. They'll be seeking each other and looking to destroy.
I've no doubt the phone's already ringing from loads of your young chargers looking to get on this bill at the O2. Can we expect a lot of good young talent on the undercard? Any names we should look out for? Yeah, we're working on that. We'll announce that in due course. But it will be a good undercard. There'll be some good fighters on the undercard. Now, obviously, this has landed on BT Sport pay-per-view. Just to go on that, whose decision was that? Was that a decision of yourselves, the broadcaster?
I think it's everybody. You know, you said something quite significant. You know, these two boxers stepping up to the plate. Well, they've got stepped up to the plate, but they're not fighting for nothing. They're putting their careers on the line early, you know, very early stage of their career, and they've got to get paid for it and get well paid for it. So that's why it's a pay-per-view fight. It's not like we do, you know, loads and loads of pay-per-view shows, and that's not our philosophy. You know, sometimes you have to make a pay-per-view show to enable to get it on, to justify the cost and obviously the boxers' purses. You know, our commitment, our main commitment, is to the subscribers, and we've shown that many times over the last few years since we've been with BT.
Obviously, nobody can deny the magnitude of this matchup. It looks a fantastic fight on paper. Is that what you just said there, what you would say to that segment of boxing fans that would complain about it being pay-per-view?
Well, look, you know, I can't force anybody to buy it. It is what it is, but it is a pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view fight. You know, if Chisora and Dillian Whyte are a pay-per-view fight, this is a pay-per-view fight. And I've seen some other pay-per-view fight. This is what it is.
Just to touch on a couple other things, Frank. Obviously, Daniel's here today. It's been a good week for the Dubois family. Caroline, as well, is up in Sheffield for the announcement of the Team GB Olympic squad. Unbelievable talent. Never had a senior fight and has made the team to go to the qualifiers next month ahead of Tokyo 2020. Do you think we're seeing the sort of beginning of one of the great sporting families from Britain?
I think this is going to be I hope it was, and I believe it will be. This is going to be a dynasty. I think that the Dubois dynasty is going to be around for a long while. Remember, you've got young Prince, and there's others coming through. It's brilliant.
Now, obviously, you got the show February 22nd at York Hall. Just wanted to touch on that. We've got Cody Davis, Umar Sadiq. We've got Foster Reed 2 as well. Talking about that show, Frank, 2 matchups I just mentioned there. Yeah. Top domestic matchups.
I mean, they're real good, as you say, domestic bang-ups. They're both of them. I mean, they're no one can complain about those. I think it's more or less sold out anyway already. York Hall, and I think the fans will get value for money on a show that's going to lead into the big one from Vegas with our man against Wilder.
You touch on your man against Wilder, so we'll go there next. Tyson Fury, not long to go out. I'm going to be going out to Vegas to watch that. Tyson came out in the press conference and said he and Sugar Hill are working on the right hand. He's looking for the knockout. He says 2 rounds. Do you believe him, Frank?
I do. I think when you look back to the last fight, he got off the floor with a bad knockdown, and by the end of the round, he had Wilder all over the place. He's more than capable of doing it. What I like about it this time, and I'm not going to take anything away from Deontay Wilder. One thing Deontay Wilder is an explosive puncher. Catch you you've got to have your wits about you. You've got to be focused for every second of the round. You've seen him time and time again pull that bomb out, being behind. He's not going to outbox Tyson. He's got to knock Tyson out. He's not going to outbox him. And what everybody, I hope, what they're forgetting about is that Tyson, for the first fight, he had 2, fairly easy jobs. He'd been out of the ring for a long time, had a lot of problems. He had to lose 11 stone in weight. And even for the Wilder fight, he was training to make weight. He's not training to make weight now. He's training for fights, for the fight.
Now, a couple of other fighters I just wanted to get your thoughts on. Josh Warrington, we expect him to face Shakur Stevenson in the summer. Shakur has announced a fight for March. Does that affect in any way a fight that may go ahead in Ellen Road?
I think I've got to see what happens after Shakir's fight in March.
Okay. And the last one, Carl Frampton, Jamel Herring, rumoured to be June, another big stadium fight. Frank, any update you can give us on that?
I think there'll be an announcement soon on that, and everybody's working on it to try and get it sorted out, but we'll see what happens. But we're all working hard to see if we can do it. We'll see where we go with it.
And final one, Frank. I'll leave the last plug to you. Daniel Dubois-Joyce, we've got the press conference about to start. Why should people tune in?
Because it's going to be an explosive fight between 2 KO merchants. Bombs away.
Frank, thank you for your time as always. See you soon.